It was Christmas Eve, 1945. Festive lights twinkled in the town of Fayetteville, West Virginia. Inside the Sodder home, 10 children buzzed with excitement, their parents, George and Jenny, looking on with warmth. The younger 5 children begged to stay up late, their pleas eventually granted. A night meant for joy and celebration was about to take a sinister turn. Just after midnight, the phone rang, jarring the household awake. Jenny answered. A woman's voice on the other end asked for someone unfamiliar. She hung up, puzzled. As she drifted back to sleep, a strange smell caught her attention, acrid and sharp. She sat up, alarmed. Smoke. The house was on fire. Panic seized the family. George sprang into action, racing to save his children. 5 of them he managed to pull from the inferno. 5 remained trapped inside. Desperate, he tried to go back in, but the flames were an impenetrable wall. The fire raged, consuming the wooden structure with terrifying speed. By the time firefighters arrived, the house was a smouldering ruin. Hope flickered, then died, as the 5 missing children were nowhere to be found. The search began, but it soon became clear this was no ordinary fire. This was a mystery that would haunt the town for decades to come. The fire had been intense, but the Sodder house was not completely destroyed. George and Jenny clung to hope, believing their children might be found in the wreckage. But as the ashes cooled, a chilling realization dawned. No remains were found. No bones, no teeth, no sign of the 5 missing children. Local authorities conducted a cursory investigation, attributing the fire to faulty wiring. But George, a seasoned coal miner, was skeptical. He knew the telltale signs of electrical fires, and this was different. He'd checked the wiring himself just weeks prior. Something wasn't adding up. Driven by grief and a gnawing suspicion, the family began their own investigation. They discovered peculiar details. The phone line, cut cleanly before the fire started. A ladder, always kept propped against the house, mysteriously missing. And then, the sightings began. Witnesses came forward, claiming to have seen the missing Sodder children in the days following the fire. A waitress in a nearby town swore she'd served them breakfast. A bus driver thought he'd seen them heading south. Each account a flicker of hope in the deepening darkness of uncertainty. The question remained, if the fire hadn't claimed them, what had? Theories about the Sodder children's disappearance spread through Fayetteville like wildfire. Some whispered of revenge, pointing to George's outspoken criticism of Mussolini's Italy. Had someone sought retribution, abducting the children to punish him? Others suspected insurance fraud gone wrong, but the Sodders quickly dismissed this, their grief too raw, their love for their children too profound. One theory, however, refused to be silenced. A witness came forward claiming to have seen a strange car parked near the Sodder home on the night of the fire. He described men on the roof, their faces obscured by the shadows. Could it have been arson, the children spirited away in the dead of night? The family, grasping at any shred of hope, hired a private investigator. He uncovered further inconsistencies. The fire chief, who'd been strangely quick to dismiss the possibility of foul play. The lack of thorough investigation by local authorities. The more they dug, the more convinced they became. Their children were alive, taken from them under the cover of darkness and deceit. Section 4. A trail gone cold, years turned into decades. The Sodder children remain missing. The family, their hearts heavy with grief and uncertainty, never gave up hope. They erected a billboard with pictures of their missing children, a constant reminder of the tragedy that had befallen them. They chased down every lead, every whisper, every fleeting possibility, no matter how improbable. There were moments of renewed hope, like the letter received in the late 1960s, purportedly from their son, Louis. It spoke of a life lived in hiding, of fear and the inability to return home. But like so many leads before, it ultimately led to a dead end. Despite the tireless efforts of the family and the occasional glimmer of hope, the trail ran cold. The authorities, initially dismissive, remained unconvinced. The fire, they maintained, was accidental, the children consumed by the flames, but for the Sodders, Doubt lingered. Too many questions remained unanswered. Too many pieces of the puzzle refused to fit. Section 5. The Long Shadow of Uncertainty. The disappearance of the Sodder children remains one of the most enduring mysteries in American history. It is a story of unimaginable loss, of relentless hope, and of the agonizing pursuit of truth that refuses to be silenced. The case, never officially solved, continues to captivate and confound, a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of family bonds. The Sodder family home, once filled with the laughter of 10 children, now stands as a solemn monument to the mystery. The billboard, weathered but resolute, still stands, a testament to the unwavering belief that somewhere out there, their children are alive. The fire may have faded into memory, but the embers of uncertainty still burn brightly, casting a long shadow over